looking east toward the front door. Front door's missing.
What you are watching is video obtained by the KSL investigators.
Stepping into kitchen dining area.
It is a recording of the South Jordan fire chief inside of a $1.4 million South Jordan home.
Moving out of the master bedroom.
Going room to room, floor to floor, and documenting the damage.
Debris from the...
Damage.
Appears to be from the roof above.
Done by his firefighters. It's actually the aftermath of a 2-day training exercise.
We try to get at least 2 hours of training every single day.
And that training often requires hammering through walls, shattering glass, and in this case,
southeast corner.
Swinging axes into the roof and ceiling. It is destructive. But I want you to hold up there for just a moment. Pause the video right there, because this hole in the wall and this one and that one and this one.
No.
The homeowner says.
No, I never spoke to anybody at the city.
Never should have happened.
Crazy.
Greg Young is adamant he did not give firefighters permission to train on his property.
So you didn't sign anything that said you can come in here and demo my house?
I never even spoke to anybody, let alone sign something.
And speaking of signing, let me show you the title to the home. This right here is Greg's signature. He owns it, no question. Now, I want to show you another signature on another document reserved for the owner of the very same property. A quick comparison and, well, hey, that's not Greg's signature at the bottom. Scroll up and that not Greg's signature is on a release of liability form from the city of South Jordan authorizing to damage structure. This structure.
Utter shock.
To be damaged by firefighters.
I have this house that's worth $1.4 million that we paid, and I can't do anything with it, sitting here vacant.
Turns out the name on the city release form is Mark Powell. He owns a demolition company. And the KSL investigators learned just weeks prior to the firefighter training, Greg requested a bid from Mark on the cost to demo the home. Now, according to public and private records obtained by KSL, Greg ordered the shutoff of gas, power, water, and testing done for asbestos.
That's new plywood that we put over the top.
And he'll be the first to tell you he was leaning toward a full demo, but says he never hired Mark to do it.
We got a couple demo bids.
And more importantly, he didn't know when he would do it.
I don't really make decisions until I know what the whole cost would be, you know, whether we would remodel or keep it, rent it out, build a new house.
So, why'd the demo guy sign off as the owner?
Hello, Mark. This is Mike Hedrick with KSL TV. How you doing?
On the other end of this call is Mark Powell. He never agreed to go on air, so we won't use his voice, but we did ask him questions.
Here, you put yourself as the property owner, but you're not the property owner. Explain that to me.
No comment on the phone, but in a text message, Mark said, quote, "This is something that KSL TV don't need to get involved in. Waste time between owner and city. Always two sides to the story," end quote. So, since Powell won't give his side, the KSL investigators went to South Jordan City Hall hoping for their side.
Not a written policy per se, but we do have procedures that we operate within.
We caught up with the fire chief, Chris Dawson, trying to understand why the fire department okayed Powell to sign off as a homeowner, and if they even knew who the homeowner was.
Someone comes to you, they sign on this, you make sure and check with the county to ensure that they are the property owner, just so I'm clear.
Correct.
Okay. Does that happen every time?
It certainly happens every time now.
Okay, so to give you a little history, the KSL investigators did some digging and found since 2020, South Jordan firefighters trained on 6 different properties. We asked for signed copies of the release forms on those properties to see if the owners signed were the actual owners. South Jordan's response, quote, "No such records were found by the city," end quote. And as for this record, without Greg's signature,
You know, we want to be as open and transparent as possible. Obviously, the situation we can't discuss directly. But.
And this is the reason the city will not talk specifics. Greg filed a lawsuit against South Jordan, the city responding with a counterclaim stating the property was in disrepair before firefighters ever showed up, with cabinets, the railing, and some of the flooring already removed. And the city says Greg was literally at the home when the fire department was conducting the training. But Greg insists.
Frustrating.
He found out from a neighbor.
They didn't ask you, and I said no.
Over and over and over, the city says Greg hired the demo contractor, Mark Powell. But no matter how many times we have asked the city or Mr. Powell, the KSL investigators have been given zero documentation Mark Powell had permission to speak for Greg Young. Even if he did, this signature is not the owner's signature.
The windows were all busted in.
Pictures from an appraisal now serving as perspective. Same rooms, same angles, different everything. And while Greg says he still has not decided what to do with the property,
It's probably going to cost more to fix than maybe it's even worth.
at some point he may have to hire a demo guy.